Here's what's coming into view on Elevating Denver for February 2024. Get mortified with teenage angst from an adult lens.
I get choked up, honestly. It's a comedy show, but it really is so much more than that.
Councilman Watson sits down with District 9 reps for an informal talk.
There's a spirit here.
Explore the new plan to combat auto thefts in Denver.
So certainly we saw some success in 2023.
These stories and more are just ahead on Elevating Denver.
Hi, my name is Khadijah James. I am born and raised in Denver, Colorado. I've been in the restaurant industry for about 10 plus years, working at different restaurants. And I came to House Working and Healthy to start learning more about the technical side of cooking. That's me right there. Go wash my hands.
Khadijah came in quiet and has just absolutely blossomed in the kitchen.
So this is all new, okay.
She has absolutely rocked this program from start to finish.
So I'm with you today, Chef Panya.
Yes, you're actually gonna be doing roast chicken. Tony, I got you on risotto.
At HWH, we have students coming to us from many different places. And whether they're a student who's never graduated anything before, or a college graduate who's coming back here to change the course of their life, either way, students can feel supported, but also to feel challenged, to learn new things, to grow and to change.
It's that type of day. Today, I was in charge of the roasted chicken. So I first just washed the chicken. I made a blend because we did a dry rub, so I put a lot of different herbs and seasonings in it. I also helped prep a watermelon agua fresca with lime and fresh watermelon. One of the biggest things that I've learned, the safety procedures, saying knife when you have a knife for safety, and corner and behind so we don't run into each other. Corner, behind.
We're here to uplift, enable, and help give purpose. And if cooking can help turn their life around, that's great. Cooking is much more than a profession. At the end of the day, it's a lifestyle.
When I met Khadijah, it was very remarkable because she had such a smile on her face and she was so ready to be here and be part of things. It was really refreshing, actually. And Khadijah shows some grit and determination that I know is difficult. Khadijah has significant travel and transportation hurdles to deal with to come to school here at HWH, and Khadijah is always doing what it takes to get to class each day.
When I started the program, I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get here. But then come to find out, they actually provide you with transportation. Here, they really give you the support that you need to be confident enough to go out there by yourself.
Our goal here at HWH is not only to help our students gain and maintain employment and retain that employment over time, but also it's to promote self-sufficiency. So our students may be navigating their mental health, they may be navigating their housing journey. Whatever the journey they may be on, our wraparound and soft support services can help those students not only move into employment, but also move through employment to navigate the many hurdles of housing and mental health.
Well, part of being a workforce training program is incorporating work ethics, such as accountability and responsibility. If they chip away at that every day here at HWH and they are progressing through our program, then ultimately they should have no problem getting a job in the industry.
We are here to celebrate these 4 people that have completed all the requirements. The first graduation of 2024. Khadijah, your certificate.
It's been a while since I graduated anything since going to college. So I feel really accomplished to start this new year with something under my belt that I feel proud of accomplishing.
Creating that sense of teamwork and familial status almost within a close-knit group is extremely important, especially for somebody who may not have anyone else or may not have a support system elsewhere. All of that makes HWH really great. We create an environment that allows people to flourish if they want to.
HWH is a great program. Like, I definitely recommend it to anybody that, even if you haven't been in culinary, just to try something new and to get into a program that feels more like a family than a job.
I wanted to ask everyone in the barbershop to kind of really share from your perspective, where you stand, the work that you do or have done, as far as your thoughts about 2024. And I'm looking for, what do you see as the opportunities, really specifically as to how it impacts the Black community?
I think it's important that we have honest and real and specific plans about what we're doing around the Black community.
Today we're having our second edition of Barbershop Talks. What Barbershop Talks are an opportunity for community members to come to the barbershops, to come to the community space that they feel most comfortable and discuss some of these really difficult issues impacting the city and county of Denver. So we're here to listen to community. We're here to provide some thoughts and ideas from District 9. But most of all, we're here to make good on our promise to always be accessible to community members and small businesses, to make sure we're fighting for them and the things that they want and need.
I'm very, very much interested in generational wealth. How do we do that? First, we get our education, okay? We own our homes, we own our businesses. And then when we start our businesses, let's be creative.
Everything's a system or a cycle. And once those are established, they're hard to break. But I do believe that with family and community and consistency, we can really begin to break down some systems and cycles that have held us back. And we can begin to build new systems and cycles. And that's why the intergenerational conversations are very important.
There's over $2 billion of opportunity in real estate development construction in the metro area. How do we begin to raise people up to be a part of that?
We're in House of Hair on 28th and Fairfax. They were previously in the City Park West neighborhood. They were displaced. So Marcus Pope, who's my barber, he and I were talking about the impacts on small businesses as far as the decisions made by City Council. And then we started talking about a whole host of things, from family, from access to schools. He said, Councilman Watson, why don't we have a series of discussions here in the barbershop like we normally do, and let's broadcast it out to the people. And I said, that sounds fantastic.
There's an expectation that we have as a community.
That's right.
Of leaders, delegates, business owners. We have an expectation when we see you to thrive. She would be like a younger sister, Cynthia's daughter. There's an expectation for you to do only succeed. Success is what we expect from you. And that empowers me. And that's part of that cyclical part of the circle, civic community element that we got to continue to live into.
None of this is scripted. No one that's showing up today has a script as to what to say. No one that's asking questions in the barbershop, whether it's Marcus or any of the great folks who work here at House of Hair. They're asking anything that hits their heart, and we're answering. We are doing this in a way that our community feels comfortable to be there and be present. And the response from our community has been fantastic.
But I love what you said as far as both of you about not letting your children be labeled, not allowing them to be just told anything, because it really starts within the home. And one thing I feel like we've lost as a community is the pride we would have in the home, not as if we're better than, but we are more than enough.
We had a lot of folks presenting at that first event. The takeaway was that making government accessible, providing access to folks who make the decisions within our government is important. I think it's a powerful opportunity, and I know my other council members are doing similar things throughout, but I think Barbershop Talks is unique to District 9 because of our historically large Black community, and we plan on continue doing this for the next 4 years.
If we don't have the representation, we're not going to get the progress that we deserve. And so that's why I appreciate you, and that's why I harp on this voting. Because we need to make sure that is our voice. And for people to say, I'm just not going to vote, then you just say you're going to lose.
I think a lot of people, or a lot of meetings are not representative of the community. Like they'll only be like people who, of the government, only people who are in real estate, or like there's no like diversity within the rooms. And I feel like it's important to have that diversity. So I think these are important, and I think I would challenge all of us to, build on this conversation we had tonight.
What's important is for you to actually engage with the individuals and the departments and the institutions that you're hearing from here. If you are interested in purchasing a home in Denver, you know how to get a hold of the land trust that we engage with here on our talk. If you're looking at the ability to make sure you need rental assistance or you get rental assistance, we're going to provide very specific steps that you can take. We're encouraging folks to share this video with those who may not be able to listen and watch it live, but also to engage with my office to learn more about the ways your government can work better for you and your family.
I had been to lip gloss, but I didn't really know who you were, and I wasn't too worried about it.
Yeah, I think that's why I liked you. What is our Denver love story?
What is our Denver love story?
Well, we fell in love in Denver.
We've been together 15 years.
15 years.
When we met, you were, well, you still are, but you were running lip gloss. You were the king of Denver.
I was not the king of Denver, but I threw a lot of parties in Denver.
I didn't even know.
A lot of very successful parties.
You were such a big deal.
I wasn't a big deal.
Because we met at a wedding, and you were DJing the wedding.
I was the DJ at the wedding.
And then we started going out, and I didn't realize what a big deal you were. Like everywhere we went, people would stop us and want to talk to you, and want to, everywhere. I think Denver provided the backdrop and the soundtrack to our love story very much.
We went to a lot of shows together. Some of the time at High Dive and Sputnik.
It was always music, and I was playing in a band. So the local band scene was a really big part of what we did at that time for years. You were always at my shows, and I was always at your events.
It was definitely a romantic city when we met, I feel like, because it was still...
It was romantic for us.
It was romantic for us, but it was still...
And also kind of dirty and gritty and sweaty and fun.
Yeah.
A lot of that.
It was small. Like the music scene was really cared about each other. It was a very cohesive...
It was a really close-knit community in those days. I miss that.
Yeah.
We knew all the bands. We knew all the DJs. We knew all the parties.
Our love affair has pretty much always been centered around Denver.
We've never lived anywhere else.
Yeah, we've literally never lived anywhere else.
We've always done a lot of things in the city and built a lot of things in the city. My business is here.
Yeah.
I think we've always considered ourselves people who want to create and grow and build and be a part of this city. I think I always liked the idea of, rather than like moving to somewhere like New York, staying here and building a scene here and building a community here and making something out of the town that, we're in.
Yeah.
I think Denver was always and is still special in a lot of ways for us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I love Denver. I can't imagine living anywhere else now. I think when I was young, I had thoughts of moving to New York City or something, maybe Paris or whatever, and obviously that never happened, but I'm happy. I love it here. Our family's here. Our lives are here.
Our lives are here. I think it's hard to fall in love no matter where you are, no matter what age you are. I don't know that there is much advice. You just have to meet the right person at the right time and be open to it and be lucky in some ways.
Yeah, I think, be patient and give people a chance. And I think also just be introspective about your own thoughts and behaviors and how you treat people. So I don't know if there's anything
good.
else.
If you're looking to fall in love, good luck.
Yeah.
It's hard out there.
Yeah, it's hard.
and
being in love is hard.
It's hard in here too.
It's hard. It's hard work when you're in it. And I think that's what a lot of people don't think about. Is they think, I just got to find someone and then I'll be in love and then it'll all be great. And man, I'll tell you, it's harder to be in a relationship and in love. That maintenance of that relationship is harder than finding it.
I think you have to choose it every day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll see how I feel in the morning.
Thank you so much for taking the time today. We are excited today to announce a comprehensive strategy to fight auto theft across the city of Denver, and what we think will put us on path to be one of the most aggressive enforcement cities to make sure we can reduce auto theft across the city.
Denver Mayor Mike Johnston and Denver Police Department Chief Ron Thomas announced a new comprehensive strategy to fight auto thefts in Denver by first moving the Denver Auto Theft Team, or DAT, within DPD from a pilot program to a permanent addition.
They were very successful, and so we wanted to make that a permanent installation so that they can continue to focus in a very precise way on auto theft.
Throughout 2023, DAT made 201 auto theft arrests and 45 additional felony arrests for other crimes, while removing more than 30 illegal guns from the streets. The DAT played an active role in the investigations and arrests of the prolific auto thieves targeting Denver International Airport.
It's really been a true partnership with Denver Police and the resources, even from Colorado State Patrol. That has been a tremendous help, because even if we come across auto thieves, we have to call law enforcement and need their support to help make an arrest.
So certainly, I think that if we have fewer cars stolen, understanding that a lot of cars that are stolen to commit some subsequent crime, I think that will lessen the likelihood of that happening.
Denver will deploy a citywide network of automated license plate recognition devices at approximately 70 intersections throughout the city. The ALPRs will be in 6 police districts at locations where incidents of gun violence, auto thefts, and hit-and-run crashes are their highest.
There are other jurisdictions that have seen successes as it relates to the use of license plate readers. We also saw a reduction in auto theft at DIA by using license plate readers.
And we've had a couple different options where we've installed permanent cameras, but also our high activity location observation cameras, or HALO cameras. So we have purchased quite a few of those to help us in our 70-acre parking lot get immediate coverage, but also be a little more unpredictable with the auto thieves.
Over the next year, DPD will evaluate the system to ensure the information collected is valuable in solving and deterring crime in Denver. So far, the cameras in other jurisdictions provided a 40% decrease in auto thefts, were essential in dismantling an auto theft crime ring, and gave police the ability to locate an active shooter.
So certainly we saw some success in 2023, 20% reduction in auto thefts. So that's nearly 2,000 fewer cars that were stolen, but we're still up 60% compared to what we were seeing in 2019. And I think that there's a number of justifications for that. I mean, a loss of patrol capacity, an ease in stealing certain types of vehicles, some legislative prosecution issues, and a lack of focus.
Because of the new cars and the technology that they have, the auto thieves, they can do it very quickly, and then they disappear. that is the other main challenge, and I think with working with Denver Police and our teams here, we're putting a lot of effort towards that.
DPD will host community events to retrofit frequently stolen vehicle models with anti-theft software.
We wanted to focus both on prevention and on recovery. And so what you'll see here are a series of strategies around prevention. If we can help folks that have cars that are at risk update their vehicles to be less prone to theft, that helps prevent. We can have you sign up for the Denver Track program and have that sticker on your window so every potential auto thief knows when they come up to your car that your car is already tracked and that's a bad idea.
The Denver Track program works with a vehicle's GPS system in order to track a stolen vehicle in real time.
2,800 people have signed their cars up. Thankfully, none of those cars have been stolen, but if they were stolen, the fact that we are given permission to use some sort of tracking device to locate their vehicle and recover it much more quickly.
Police recruitment efforts have been rebuilding DPD to full operational strength in order to increase patrol capacity for crime response.
We have 2 classes in the academy right now, one of 40, another of 25 that will be graduating later this year that will be joining our force. We are doing a great job attracting interest and getting folks in the pipeline for hire, and so I'm looking forward to being able to get to full staffing here very quickly.
The most critical tool for auto theft prevention in Denver is responsible vehicle owners.
Not leaving your keys in the car, making sure that your door is locked, even taking advantage of some sort of anti-theft device such as a club. I think those are great ways to make sure that your vehicle doesn't get stolen.
Visit denvergov.org for more information.
Okay, it's the 90s and I feel like I'm missing something. I've got my worries about Bosnia, Africa, the healthcare plan, my college plans, whether or not Tanya Harding was guilty, gang violence, domestic violence, Barney, Lyle and Eric Menendez, catching AIDS, the reasons behind Tom and Roseanne's divorce, Kurt Cobain's suicide, prom, term papers, and more. I've taken my Prozac, I'm not wearing gang colors, I am ready to face another day in 1994.
We're freaks, we're fragile, and we survived.
What's up, Denver?
My name's David Blatt. I'm the producer of Mortified Colorado. Mortified is a show where grown adults get on stage in front of hundreds of people and share their most hilarious and embarrassing teenage journals, artwork, letters, songs, whatever they held on to from childhood that they're willing to share on stage.
Even though these people are choosing to get on this stage, it takes a lot of guts to get in front of hundreds of people and share something that probably should have been kept in the darkest corner of the basement.
Trick me, treat me, love me, hold me, kiss me, but you can't kill me because you will suffer excruciating pain from me. Wouldn't that be amazing to find in your locker?
Once upon a time, there was love in my life. And now there's only love in the dark.
I think for people who have been in the audience and people who are really diehard Mortified fans first, they see that there's this surprising kind of community building and such a humanizing thing that happens at the shows. You just realize that, of course, we've all been through these tough times and we've felt so alone.
I decided to write a letter to Saddam Hussein. To the Iraqi president and whomever else it may concern. I truly regret that this has gone so far as to have me write this letter. I'm writing this on behalf of the American military. Please give up and apologize. And my country will forgive and forget. Firmly, Ryan M. Conroe of Atlanta, Georgia.
Like everyone who's in the room the night of is there to support, and there's this kind of cathartic sense that we're all laughing with when we laugh, that there's a lot of like mirroring and recognition, like, oh, I have that same experience too.
You know, it is a relatively cringy and embarrassing story that I wrote. Immediately, the audience put me at ease by getting the joke and laughing. I really was actually more surprised by how many people came up to me afterwards to be like, I just want to tell you that was fantastic.
After witnessing other people do it and seeing how people respond, I think that's what really makes people say, oh, maybe I could be a part of that too, and just continue this sort of legacy of Mortified now, which I think really is humanizing ourselves and also getting to know each other in this really unique way.
And then Dean started staring at me. Then the next day, while we were having the band party for the concert, he started poking me and Lisa with pencils. Since he usually does it to Lisa, I began to wonder. I love him. If he asked me to dance, I would say yes. Look at me, I'm talking to a book.
Part of getting older, I think, is like looking back on your childhood and realizing all the ways that you're damaged. And looking back on it now and being able to see it in a different light, and also just recognize that I've come a long way from who that person was, is really like liberating.
There is so much violence today. I've written a will. My VCR, Granny and Papa. My stuffed animals on the table, Big Papa.
I hear from 90% of the people who've participated that it is truly one of the most fun nights they've ever had as an adult.
And I need you now and tonight, and I need you more than ever.
I glowed up, you know, which is a great thing. I think most of the people that read these stories, they're on a glow up from where we all were.
I really encourage anyone who hasn't tried it yet to either come to a show or do one, because it's really just the best community.
Dear Mortified Colorado, I want to tell you that seeing this show for the first time last night was one of the most joyful and beautiful experiences ever. So profoundly hilarious and humanizing. I left feeling so open-hearted and alive and over the moon with joy, knowing we are all such weirdos after all. The world needs more of this. And reading that, I get choked up, honestly, because again, it's a comedy show, but it really is so much more than that. And that comment exactly captures why I'm so passionate about this show and why I think the audience is so passionate about it. It just inspires me to keep doing what we're doing and spreading the gospel of Mortified.
Thank you, Denver. We love you.
Stay elevated by subscribing to the city's YouTube page for these stories and more. And stay tuned to our social media channels for more content. Don't miss our new episodes of Elevating Denver, premiering each month. Thanks for watching, Denver.